What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a good day. This is going to be kind of a short video. Was watching TV a while ago, and they was covering this stuff going on in Minneapolis, and of course somebody else got shot, and they shot him dead. He charged at them, the ICE or Border Patrol, Department of Homeland, whoever it is that's there. They charged at him with a gun, and of course they shot him down. So he's dead, and they showed video, images of the gun and stuff like that. But the thing I want to talk about, of course, guys, this is going to happen now. This is getting out of hand, pretty much. But the thing I'm wanting to talk about is, of course, after this happened and everything, of course, there's a little bit of shock. But immediately afterward, the crowd started closing in. They started throwing projectiles and rocks and stuff like that, whatever it is they're doing, even throwing gas canisters at the people, the law enforcement people, Border Patrol, ICE, whoever. And, of course, there's immediate reaction by them. They started pushing back. They started returning with their own gas canisters and a show of force, as we would call it. They went out and dispersed and started pushing people back. And what got me, guys, is these people were up there and they're claiming to be badasses. They're acting like they're really badasses. You know, they're standing up to the forces and everything, and they're stopping them from doing anything. And it just blows my mind. First off, this guy that run up on them and got shot, what was in his mind? He was one person with one gun, with one clip. What did he think he was going to accomplish with this type of action? And so it was kind of, he wasted his life. If it was a real thing, okay, guys, there's always actors and stuff like that, so we can't say this real. But if it is real, what was in his mind to think that he was going to do anything? Oh, that was kind of stupid. And then these people, they claimed that the problem is ICE and DHS and Border Patrol and whoever else, Customs and everybody else who is involved in getting these illegal persons out of the country, unlawful persons out of the country, as they say. So they're law enforcement. So these people are saying they're the problem because they're there. They're causing the riots, and it just blows my mind that these people think that way because the people there are doing the law. They're doing what they're told to do by their officials and everything, by the government law, official law. There wouldn't be a problem until these people showed up and started throwing their rocks and getting in the way of legal law enforcement activities. So it just boggles my mind completely how they can flip this narrative around that way and make it out like they're the victim and that the legal law enforcement is acting illegally, unlawfully, even going as far as they kidnapped a kid the other day, which actually the truth was they went to get the father and he ran, left his kid sitting there in the car and ran off, left him. So, and they said they used him as bait. No, they took him into protective custody, if you will, to somewhere safe where he wouldn't be out in the street waiting for his dad to return. And, of course, his dad turned himself in because, it's dumb. Anyway, back on the story, guys. These people up there are doing all this stuff, protesting and raising canes, holding signs and hollering stuff and throwing stuff at it. But when it comes down to it, when the armed forces show force, return, and act back, they run like cowards, or they act like they're the victims. I mean, I was watching them, and several of them was running away, flipping up their fingers, and stuff like that, holding up the signs and hollering and wallowing on the ground, acting like they was injured and stuff, and getting arrested, stuff like that. And the thing is, they all ran like a bunch of little children, guys, starting like, you used to see in the movies, the kids start something, then they run away because they're children. They're scared of the consequences, just like these people. They want to start something, but they don't want to stand for the accountability of what happens afterwards when you start something, like a bunch of irrational children. And it just blows my mind that they are like this, and they think they're actually doing something. They're just showing how much of a coward, how much of a chicken they really are, and how warped their mentality is. Now, I'm going to relate a story, guys, here. And, I never did claim to be a badass or anything like that. But I want to tell you something. I did stop the United States Navy dead in their tracks while I was in. And it's a story in itself. I was stationed over in Europe, over in Spain. There's operations going on there we was involved with. And I got disillusioned. Some things that came to light really turned me against what was going on, and just told me that I was not doing what I thought, what I would consider the right thing. So I started telling them to fire me. I wanted out right away, immediately. I didn't care what they had to do, what kind of papers I had to sign. I wanted out immediately. And we went through this thing for about 9.5, 10 months, guys. And I've done everything you can except just walk off and not come back at all. What do you call it? Abandonment of duty, AWOL, or what, desertion? Yeah. Well, I've done everything short of that to do what I could do to get out. And this went on for about 9.5 months, like I was saying, like back and forth. And it finally came to that one day I showed up and they come to me and put me in handcuffs. I thought I was going to the brig. I thought things had come down bad. I was ready for it. I figured, that's going to happen because of my actions. But they brought me before the XO, and all I had to do was sign my discharge papers, and they gave me an honorable discharge immediately, effective immediately, with full rights and benefits. So that was kind of startling, guys. So, I went on for a 9 months tirade that I did not like what was going on, how things were being done, and I stood my ground, and guess what? I stopped the motherfuckers dead in their tracks. Another thing that happened while I was in, I started smoking, they caught me smoking weed. So they started testing me, and I refused to quit. They asked me, why are you smoking marijuana? Was you abused? Did you hate your daddy and mommy issues? The whole 9 yard psychology shit. And I said, because it's fucking fun. So they knew they had a loose screw or a loose missile bomb on their hand. They didn't know what to do with me. So they started this thing, they went ahead and decided that they needed, for some kind of reason, they did a couple of testings, and they found out because my steadfast rule that I ain't gonna quit smoking, they started testing everybody in the military. It was called Operation Golden Flow. You can check that up. But guys, me and a couple other people are the ones mostly responsible for that becoming in action. So I'm not saying that I'm a badass, but I'm a stubborn son of a bitch when it comes down to it. And I'll stand my ground if I think I'm right. But these people up there have no backbone. They have no gumption about them. They're just there to create chaos. Paid or not, they're causing problems. And they are cowards, just like they act. Hope you'll have a groovy day. And as always, guys, do something nice for somebody because it's really cool. Later, taters.